Hello, everyone, and welcome to CE Institute. My name is Selena Belisle, and I am the founder and one of the board-approved CE providers and instructors here teaching live in-person, live webinar, and home study training. For training transparency, we're posting our course agreement and disclaimer for our home study training, and it's here publicly available for free on YouTube. Now, this was recorded to play during our home study training. So that might make a little bit more sense while you're watching this. This is really for people who have already purchased our training. But if you want to see the course disclaimer prior to your home study, here it is. Now, when we talk about a user of the course, that means the student who's taking it. Whoever purchased the course, that should be the user. Make sure that when you're purchasing training, it's under your own name. And it's just the user is our student. There's only one allowed user for each course purchase. Please do not attempt to share our training with others to split the cost, okay? Our course materials, including language, print, information, and images, cannot be shared, referenced, displayed, or reproduced without explicit written detail from our school here at CE Institute. Keep in mind that a lot of our work is copyrighted, so you could be found responsible for copyright violations if you share this without our permission. More so, a lot of the images that we have are licensed images to our school. Other companies own some of the copyrights of our material that we're using to train with, and you could violate their copyright by sharing it as well. So, in order to make sure that you're free and clear of legal responsibilities while training, please make sure that you're not sharing this with others without our consent. The user of this training, whoever the student is, will practice their own work at their own risk and use their own judgment, training, and expertise for their own individual situations. You must individually accept responsibility for everything on your own. Keep in mind this is a home study training. We have no way to evaluate your skill level, and as such, it's up to you to be responsible for your own work. You should also understand that this training is provided for informational purposes only and should be used in conjunction with your previous training. In this case, it's for licensed massage therapists as healthcare workers. You should have received basic contraindications and precautions training, and you should be applying your former knowledge to this additional information to be able to have a well-rounded approach of healthcare. The user of this course releases us, the school, and myself personally, Selena Belisle, from any and all claims that may arise from viewing this training or acting upon it. Okay, we wouldn't be able to perform home study training if we were responsible for what you were doing in your own jobs, okay? So we're, teaching you to the best of our ability, but we're not responsible for your practice if something goes awry. We're providing this training to the best of our ability, to the best of our knowledge. We've done a lot of research to provide you this information, but sometimes even your instructors can make errors. That's why it's really important that you take the information and then you are to train to the best and practice to the best of your ability to make sure you're always doing something that makes sense and will do no harm. Okay. We cannot be responsible again for what you're doing in your practice with our information. So make sure whatever you're doing makes sense and don't do anything that could potentially cause harm to your client. Also, there could be contradictory information to what we're providing in this training. We acknowledge that, and it's up to you as the student to determine which information you want to work with, okay? Even after we've recorded this training, there could be new information that comes out. We're not continually updating this training every day. So make sure you're using this information to the best of your ability in a way that makes sense. And I believe we've been pretty clear that this is a computer-based course where it's self-paced. You're doing this on your own. We're not watching you in the training. We're not providing directions or feedback. You don't need to earn 100% on your quiz to pass it. Okay, so this is a computer-based training, and it's up to you to do your best with the information we're providing you. Our training is also not meant to instruct you on how you should run your business. We will discuss standard operations and some things that may be advisable in a bodywork practice. However, each business must determine their own business instructions and operations. You are solely responsible for how your business operates. We are not the ones that will be telling you how to run your business. You must make sure your business operations make sense for you, the city and state that you live within, your landlord, your clients, and other individual factors that only apply to your practice. This course does not provide information to replace legitimate legal or medical advice. We cannot advise you legally within your practice, and we cannot advise medical measures within your practice. You should seek your own licensed physician or licensed attorney if you would like medical or legal advice. This training does not include every possible human or medical factor, and as such, it cannot be considered as an all-inclusive publication or training of the subject. Only a doctor can include variables of a client's medical history, their age, risk factors, gender, and other data that will help them determine what medical advice could be, both for you as a practitioner or for them as a client. Medical advice can't be achieved without personal factors of what's going on with the individual that you're working on, and medical factors cannot be determined through a pre-recorded training because what would be indicated or suggested for one person might not be for another, just because of a couple factors being different. So again, please use your previous training and knowledge of hands-on approach and practices in addition to our training, and then reach out to the client's physician or other professionals if you need greater information to help direct you to provide the best treatment possible. When we teach about specifically the hands-on body work, just know that any suggestions or recommendations that we make in this training is without knowing who you're applying this to. So as such, when we make these suggestions and recommendations, they're provided without any guarantee because we don't know who you're working on. Only you will know who you are working on, so you need to use your best judgment and training to do the right work. As such, CE Institute, our school, and our instructors disclaim all liability in connection with the training provided here and any information provided within the course. Please also make sure that you know your own board's rules. Make sure you're working within your licensed scope of practice. Know that just because you're taking this training with us as a nationally board approved provider for massage therapists and more, that what we're teaching may not necessarily be covered or licensed in your state. We know that Georgia does not accept aromatherapy CE hours. We know that some states do not allow massage therapists to practice fire cupping, or maybe they don't allow cupping at all. The rules are constantly being updated and changed. So it's your responsibility to learn your state laws and rules that govern your own license and practice accordingly. We allow almost anyone who wants to take this training to take it, but that does not provide a healthcare license to practice medicine, massage, bodywork, nursing, or more. So you need to ensure that you are, one, licensed and legal to practice anything that we are teaching prior to providing work to clients. And then once you are licensed, make sure you review your scope of practice with your own state or licensing boards to ensure whatever you're practicing is legal. If you have any concerns about this disclaimer or the training, or any issues viewing or completing the training, you can always email us at info@ceinstitute.com. That's info@CE as in continuing education. So info@ceinstitute.com. Please allow at least 24 to 48 business hours for us to respond to your written email. This training does not focus on the sale of a specific product or service. There are no known financial conflicts of interest in the provision of the training. We may recommend additional training or different products to use to complete some of the work that you will be learning about in this course. However, purchasing additional materials or services or training is not required to complete your purchased registration here. That's all I have for you for our course agreement and our disclaimers. Thank you for taking the time to listen to me explain them, and we hope you enjoy your training.